Good morning, friends. Let's check in with Rain Dragon Rescue. As we know, when we left off, fortunately, Ben was safe, but the vial of fairy dust, their only way back, fell down a crevice, gone. Chapter 15, Stranded. The vial of fairy dust was gone. With a strangled cry, Ben fell to his knees and reached into the crevice, his hand frantically searching in the cold, dank air that lay below the surface. Then he lay on his belly, reaching even farther, hoping the vial might have landed on a shelf, or that the crevice really wasn't as deep as it looked. "Did you find it?" Pearl asked, crouching beside him. "No," Ben said with a moan. "Metalmouth, can you help us?" Metalmouth dropped his tennis ball and bounced over. "Let me try." He also laid on his belly and then stretched out his arm, as he had done through the window to get Grandpa Abe's toaster. "I can't find it," he reported. "Drat," Pearl said. She sat on the black satchel. "That's too bad. I dropped my house key down the drain, but we got a new key at the hardware store." Panic started in Ben's toes and rose up through his throat. "What are we going to do?" he cried. "Don't worry," Pearl said. "The goat lady knows we're here. She'll tell Dr. Wu, and then Dr. Wu will come and get us." She looked at Metalmouth. "Isn't that right?" The dragon sat up and scratched behind his ear. "Maybe, but Violet only works the day shift, and if Dr. Wu gets back really, really late, then she won't know that we're here until tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow?" Ben imagined his grandfather waiting outside the hospital gate at 3 o'clock, wondering what had become of his grandson. He wiped sweat from his brow. There was no one to blame but himself. If he had kept a tight grip on the vial, they wouldn't be in this predicament. Could they survive a night without water? Without blankets or shelter? And what would his grandfather remember? Would he remember to feed Snooze? Pearl checked the rain dragon's status. "Her skin feels even colder," she said with alarm. "We can't just sit here and worry about ourselves. We have a life to save." She was right. Ben had made a terrible mistake, but there was still a job to be done. There was only one rain dragon in the whole universe, and she needed their help. As they followed the dragon's body, Ben and Pearl tried to stay in Metalmouth's shadow. He didn't seem bothered by the temperature. Ben's mouth turned dry, and when they arrived at the dragon's hind leg, they climbed over it. As they continued their journey alongside the dragon's midsection, Ben's throat became so parched it felt like it was made of sandpaper. He tried not to imagine the cans of cream soda in his grandfather's refrigerator. "Oh, I'm so thirsty." He opened the satchel, hoping to find water, but he only found bottles labeled Blister Liquefier, Wu's Wound Glue, and Tail and Tentacle Detangler. "I'm thirsty too, but I can't drink any of this stuff," Pearl said as she picked up the vial labeled Syrup of Serpent Spit. "Gross." Metalmouth scratched under his chin. "How long can you humans go without water?" "Not very long," Ben said, "especially because we're sweating so much." "Then why don't you stop sweating?" "We can't," Pearl said grumpily. "It's how our bodies try to keep cool." "Human bodies make no sense," Metalmouth said. "You have no scales to protect you, and those patches of fur on your head make you look super weird." Ben guessed it was noon because the sun hung directly overhead. But maybe the sun had different rules in the imaginary world. Sweat gathered between his toes. His socks were gonna stink. "You know what I'd like?" Pearl said. "I'd like an ice-cold vanilla milkshake, or a root beer with extra ice, or—" "That's not helping," Ben grumbled. Would they die of thirst before Dr. Wu came to the rescue? The rain dragon's midsection was shorter than her tail, so it wasn't long before they arrived at her front leg. They were about to climb over it when Metalmouth sniffed the air. Ooh, I smell metal. Metal? Ben looked around. I don't see anything made of metal. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. He thumped his tail. Where is it? Huh? Where is it? I want it. I want it. Hey, guys! Pearl had walked alongside the leg and had disappeared around the dragon's bent elbow. You'd better come and see this. Meadowmouth bounded forward, Ben at his heels. They both skidded to a stop next to Pearl. Ben's mouth fell open in astonishment. The rain dragons. Tune in next time.